Returning with episode 491 of We Were Gamers, a podcast wherein I, Andy, will try not to cough while I say hello, Michael.
We're back? Question mark?
Oh, yeah. I mean, at some point in the past, the people are listening to this. We had a little hiccup in scheduling. That's okay. It's me, mea culpa or whatever about getting too busy and have trouble getting everything off my plate. But yeah, we're here. Let's see. We had Disney. Man. JJ, hello.
Hello.
Technically, your computer's trying to make it so you're not here, but you are. So good on you for fighting the good fight.
Yeah, thanks. I don't know. I feel like it was, bound to be my turn. The microphone just decided it didn't want to work, so I'm using the backup one. Sorry if I sound like crap.
Well, we had a little bit of a trip to Disney in there. That was one of the break weeks.
Yeah, that was good fun for everybody.
I enjoyed myself. Michael, I'm sorry you're at work, but...
so it goes. But I was glad to hear everybody else had fun.
Yeah, I rode rides with your family. It was a good time. JJ and family as well were there, and we experimented with every place we could find California Adventure drinkables. New ones for me mostly because lots of new stuff since I've been to California Adventure.
They've got some good stuff.
Yeah, that was a fun time. I had never been to that weird food place over in Avengers Campus or whatever.
Are you talking Pim's Test Kitchen?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it's one of the newer spots to eat in the park.
That place was not as wild as it was led for me to believe. I thought they said, "Oh, it's the test kitchen, haha, there's going to be tiny burgers and giant pretzels." It was like the giant pretzel ain't that giant and the burgers are just sliders.
The giant pretzel is giant compared to food otherwise served in Disneyland, though. And the sliders are just sliders, though. No offense there.
Yeah. Well, Disney was in there. We had a week off because I was sick, which I'm sure people are going to hear at some point during this. So I'm going to try and mute as much as I can. But in the meantime, during those 2 weeks, maybe even slightly before, F1 came back. So we got to talk about it.
Oh boy, did it.
I'd say there's two large camps forming about the current rules and their effect on races. One, this is exciting and interesting and fun because it's wild and things aren't working and the cars are driving like insane Mario Kart adventure time.
And it's different, yeah.
And the way that people have to race has changed overnight. Two, this isn't anything like F1 has ever been, and it's terrible.
I have some sympathy for the latter camp, but I'm probably in the former, I think. The more I've read about the way this is working for the drivers, seems like it would be infuriating. Because of the new rules, Michael, are very what's a good way to describe this rule change, Andy?
The cars are functionally delivering power in a way more like an electric vehicle than ever before.
Yeah, there's a much bigger emphasis on battery and battery management.
And I was just going to say the management part is much more idiosyncratic than before. In the past, it was like the Batmobile fire out of the tailpipe button. You're on DRS, you've got some battery in the tank, smash that button and go fast. Now there's most, if not more than, the V8 engines are giving out power in the batteries. So teams started out with just all right, well, we're going to be regenerating and using and doing all this stuff. And then they get into the race situations and they're like, these batteries are not doing anything like we thought they would. and we don't know how to manage them.
So the big deal is like the change here is because of this new battery system, and it's basically like they make a big emphasis. Oh, it's like 50% battery power, 50% combustion, right? So there's this big split, but really the emphasis is on how much you can charge the battery over a lap, and then how you use that battery power, which leads to what seems to be, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, like, are you in this camp, Andy, that, like, as far as I can tell, the battery stuff is awesome, like, makes the racing awesome?
Okay, so we're back on this one. Hello, you can hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
you're doing fine there, and it sounds normal speed, and it's continuous.
Okay, I'm going to just not deal with that now.
To answer your question, I feel like I am super excited about the fact that straight out of the gate, different people were all over the place, all over the grid, mechanical problems everywhere, and McLaren is not at the front immediately, just like they were the last 2 seasons. And you had like Kimi Antonelli winning a race, and it's wild and fun in that aspect. It's not so hot with the drivers bickering with each other, then agreeing with each other over, like first it was like shut up and race, and now it's like actually now that we're not winning, also we are complaining.
Yeah.
Haas is doing great, but Aston Martin is falling apart, and
I mean, I
whether
don't know.
that's
Do you dislike that? I mean, I think it's hilarious that Aston Martin can't get their own crap together despite spending billions of dollars. Like, that's LOL.
I don't think it's bad for anybody, really. I just think it's kind of like going to fracture a lot of the opinions about what to do going forward in the season with the rules and the everything else. And I wonder, the Honda power units problems, are those
Sure.
because of the rules or not?
So the thing that I've heard the most from the drivers, and that I've seen when I've read, like, detailed people breaking down like what's going on here, because of the way the energy recharge system is managed, and it's like, mandated in the rules that these things happen. Very small, very seemingly innocuous changes in like your throttle pushing, or the way you're lifting on or off the throttle or brakes at certain points of the lap. Oh, you have a small bit of oversteer or whatever here, so you like let off the gas sooner or push it down earlier or whatever, try and get control of the car, leads to the car's power output not doing what it's supposed to do at the right times, and thus you lose lap time because you run out of power on the straights because it depleted randomly in the middle of the turn when it was useless. And that's also why you see these drivers randomly on turns that make no sense spinning out or crashing or like doing stuff that doesn't make any sense, is because the car is just like, all right, full power, got it, guys. And then you're just like, wait, what? Why? No. And then they crash.
Yeah, so that part of it is not good.
Yeah, that's the stuff I think that this is like, brand new. That's the stuff that will go away over time.
Right.
It give the teams like 2, 3, 4, 5, months in this rule set, and they'll figure a bunch of this stuff out. The thing they won't figure out is the fact that, like, if you use the battery too early, you will not have full power on the straight by the end of the lap, and that happens consistently.
That part of it is racing to me, but a driver not being in control of their car is a problem. So I think there's both opinions are valid, and unfortunately it's going to just cause a lot of arguing for a long time, which it's probably going to be great for Drive to Survive, but beyond that, I don't know. It's good that the front of the field has been shaken up quite a bit.
I think the thing everyone is reasonably worried about is, like, are we back to the 7 years of Mercedes dominance again? Because it feels like they have a good second on the rest of the field if they want to.
Yeah, but that's just one. It's just one season, right? Like, I don't know. It's just one season so far.
They made the engine, though, is the problem, right? Like, they have, a lot of those teams, even McLaren use that Mercedes engine.
Uh-huh.
And the manufacturer is beating all of them because they know more about the engine.
Learning
that's
curve, maybe.
Absolutely, right. And so, I think Andy's right that, I hope they don't just immediately go like, oh, this is bad, and throw out a bunch of the rules, because I do think it has produced some interesting stuff, and we should let it play out. Like, let the teams that have their cars falling apart fix them. Like, let the drivers actually experience the racing like this. Give it a
Also,
shot before we just throw it out.
Yeah.
Also, the new gas. Apparently, nobody's using the new gas that they're supposed to be using.
So they are all supposed to be on synthetic fuel now. I don't know what that means necessarily.
So they developed that new gasoline with one specific company, and everyone's making their own. So like Petronas is making its own gas, Shell is making Ferrari's gas.
Yeah. They all have different gas suppliers. That's known.
Yeah. So it's a question of whether or not that is also affecting everybody, because they had to change the gas formula this year, and some of those companies don't have it exactly well or whatever.
Certainly possible, right? And then there's the whole deal about, like, are they cheating the engine compression ratio rules and stuff like this with, like, fancy technology that allows, because they only measure the engine compression ratio when it's cold. But if you are clever and know materials science, things change when they heat up, right? And you can do stuff, cause the crankshaft, or the what's the name of piston rod, right?
Mm-hmm.
To stretch and compress as it heats and as it cycles, so that you can get more volume in the cylinder when you want it. And according to at least something that I read, was like, oh yeah, they've been doing that for like a long time already. So you can just imagine they were just like, well, let's just this direction, and because it's not outlawed, right? So then, of course,
yeah.
Well, the current season of Drive to Survive really sucked. So maybe this one will be better. With all these things, they'll actually have something to talk about.
Yeah, I think the problem, Drive to Survive, I think, has a inherent problem in that a lot of the big names have now refused to participate, right?
Some of them came back a little bit for a little while, and now some of them have stopped, and some of the big names don't. I mean, Christian Horner got dropped mid-season.
Well, yeah, due to being fired.
Yeah, oops. And it really just is kind of like they don't really have a story behind a lot of these places. A lot of these places have stopped telling you the internal stories. The drivers don't tell you the internal stories, and for some reason they don't focus on the racing. So it's like they don't have any direction, I think. So maybe the new rules will provide them something. I may not be around to watch it in terms of my interest after this bad season. So
I think Drive to Survive served its purpose to make the show popular in the US, and I don't know how worth watching the show is anymore. You could just watch the racing, and you get 90% of what you want.
I think also the idea of Drive to Survive has seeped into the news around the racing. So all the stuff 100%. That would be on it later, you already know now, right?
Oh, so Lewis said over the radio to so-and-so that he's mad about this thing. Does that mean he secretly hates Charles?
Well, and F1 TV is showing you all the behind the scenes
Real Housewives
stuff now. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's you're completely right. That's absolutely, they have done that stuff. I will say though, how have you felt about the Apple TV presentation of this? Because that is new this year.
So weirdly, my F1 TV app was working the first week.
Yeah, of course it would be. You have Apple TV, don't you?
I don't.
Oh, interesting. So you had paid for F1 TV previously?
And it's still working.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so your subscription carried over.
Weird, right?
You probably should go check your settings and make sure you cancel that, because I think the Apple TV subscription is cheaper.
Maybe. But I've heard that Apple TV doesn't have the international, or does it now?
So it does. The thing is that, as far as I could tell. If you're watching a replay, it's harder to find that feed. I struggled finding it on the replay, and so just watched the F1 TV feed. But live, you can switch between the feeds. So like, you just switch and go watch the Sky TV feed whenever you want.
It also looks like they have better picture-in-picture control.
Yeah, I think they have a lot of the F1 TV like features available. So like you can switch and watch driver cams and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is rad. So if you want to just like, I want to see what Fernando Alonso is doing there in the back, you can just watch his feature. I think was like an F1 TV only feature before.
Might have been. They used to have it so that you could like set up multiple screens and all that sort of stuff. But Apple TV seems to be trying to let you do it picture in picture.
Yeah, I think they don't go as far as F1 TV used to. But I think if you download, like if you have an Apple TV and you use the F1 TV app there, it still has that ability to set up like 4 cameras or whatever.
Nice.
But you can't watch it from like the Apple TV feed or whatever. I don't understand. I don't know how they define this stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, are we going to get to watch F1 in the next couple weeks? I don't think so, right? They're just canceled races that are coming up.
This weekend is Japan. As of this recording, this coming weekend is Japan. And then there will not be any F1 for a month.
Right.
After that.
Because the Middle East.
Yeah. Remember that whole Middle East thing, everyone? Yeah, the next 2 races were in Qatar and Saudi Arabia, I think. Not exactly places that seem super safe right now.
Yeah.
Seems like it would be asking for an accident or on purpose thing to happen.
Yeah. I wish I could say that that's too bad, but sign a deal with the oil money, you kind of get the political instability that comes with it, right? I don't think that was like,
Yeah, it's amazing it lasted as long as it did.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, that's, it's shocking it hadn't happened before now.
Yeah, so all of April off,
like
are they going to change the rest of the schedule? Probably, right?
It sounded, well, they've canceled those 2 races and have not opted to replace them. So,
but are they going to just up the dates on the other races or break?
No, they're not replacing them. They're just saying these aren't happening. The next one is in May in Miami.
So they'll still have the August break.
I assume so. Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Well, since we were talking about engine swaps, we should probably talk about flavor swaps.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
I have not snack minute. Food crime? ? I don't know. I was not able to participate in this because apparently the area around me is for boring people. So,
what?
Michael, you got to take the lead.
Yeah, I will. I'll bring you some.
Hold on. I thought you were going to give him some, Michael. Is this just like
and I dropped the ball. It has not happened yet.
Okay, I was just like,
I
is Andrew just like?
I will try and get him some, and then we can
to
compare additional notes here.
Here, okay. So which ones have you obtained and or tried, Michael?
Okay, so I have managed to find all 3 bags. They had all 3 of them at the grocery store right around the corner from us. So I have the Cheetos that are sweet heat barbecue flavored, a la Lay's barbecue chips. I have the bag of Ruffles that are Cool Ranch Dorito flavored, and the what's the last one? Doritos that are sour cream and onion. Or sour cream and cheddar?
No, it's like, yeah, it's like
cheddar and sour
cheddar.
Cream, like Sun Chips.
Which is very funny because it's like, aren't those almost cheddar? Is this a change?
Yeah, that one's feels like it's the closest to the original, but again, have not tried them yet to know.
So which one? You said you tried one at least. Where did you go for?
I tried the Cheetos to start with.
Okay.
And it the experience, I don't know about you, but the experience kind of breaks your brain a little bit.
It is really weird.
It is the texture that from the chip that you are eating. The flavor is spot on
For the
from
Lay's
something
barbecue.
else, right? With that Lay's barbecue, and it's right, same company, right? So they just ported it over.
Different dust, same bag.
Yeah, exactly.
So not being a big barbecue chip fan already, so like I'm not, I'm not the best person to ask this, but it wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. Did I like it more than regular Cheetos? I don't know, but like I didn't like barbecue flavored chips most of the time anyway, so like I don't know that I'm the good person to ask on this one.
Sure.
I have a
So
lot of
I
opinions about the Cool Ranch one though.
Oh, okay. So I had just 2 days ago, I had just had a bag of Lay's barbecue chips.
I should have gone and tried to get
So
some
the
of like
direct
small ones
comparison.
of the. Yeah, I should have gone to go get some of the regular ones because I haven't had one to compare against.
Hmm. And the only difference is that they made the Cheetos slightly spicy.
Yeah, the thing I was going to comment about the barbecue one is I got tang, like really, like they call it sweet heat or whatever. But like you get the heat, like every now and then
Yeah,
you'll
you
bite
do.
one and then you're like, oh, there's like a spice in here.
Like a lot of vinegar spice or a lot of like capsaicin spice?
More like capsaicin than like vinegar.
Yeah, I was going to say it's like white people hot barbecue sauce. Does that make sense? Not vinegar spicy, like spicy. We mixed a bunch of peppers into this barbecue sauce.
Yeah, there's some cayenne or some powdered jalapeno kind of thing going on.
Yeah. But not like too much where it's outrageous. But every now and then you'll eat one of those and be like, oh, hey, there's a tang in here. The thing that I want to talk about is the Cool Ranch one because I had that and I ate like a significant amount of them because I just couldn't believe what I was tasting.
Okay, I want to hear about this then.
This may color your perception, but please, attempt to experience the thing as its own thing. I swear to you, the first like 10 chips I ate tasted like sour cream and onion. I don't think I tasted any Cool Ranch whatsoever. It's just like, these are just like, was Cool Ranch always just sour cream and onion? Have I been like gaslit?
Been lied to? Or is it the interaction with the corn chip?
So that was like, that's why I kept having more because I was like, I can't believe this is just sour cream and onion flavor. Like, I don't get it. And then as I got farther into the bag, then I started being like, you know what, though? I do get the Cool Ranch kind of ranchy dust flavor of this. But it's very strange because it has the like different texture that you're not used to from a Dorito.
Right, yeah.
So it was a very interesting experience. So I want you guys to have that experience. So when you eat it, don't just eat like one chip and then put it down. You got to have that whole bag or whatever.
Okay.
Don't eat the whole bag, but
I will try not to.
A good handful or something. Don't eat like two.
Exactly.
But literally, I ate the first chip and I was just like, this is just sour cream and onion ruffles. Like, I don't think there's any Cool Ranch on this at all. And I was like, what happened? And like, both of us, like my wife and I were both looking at each other being like, what the heck is this? So I had a very strange occurrence. And maybe it was just the thing, or like there's more of the dust at the bottom or something, or who knows, I have no idea.
Interesting. No, I'm very intrigued.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'm curious, like I said, if I find it, I'll try the third one, but they didn't have it. And this is not like super high on anyone's list of like important things to do.
Go out of your way. Yeah.
No. I did try those ranch rolled chips from Trader Joe's that were like their knockoff Takis.
The Takis, yeah.
But they're ranch. Forgettable.
That's too bad.
They weren't
you would
bad.
Just stick with the other flavor.
Yeah. Yeah, I would just stick with the other flavor for sure.
Takis are pretty good as themselves, right? So like,
yeah, it is. We put some trays around the house in a specific location that I want to talk about. You could put chips in them. You could put drinks in them. We are up and running here for the homeowners minute on the pool renovation.
Ooh, okay.
All right. So open for business.
Open for business, complete, warm, and ready to go with umbrellas with little trays on them that you can sit in the water next to in your little chair, and snack or whatever you want to do. Don't spill in my pool though.
Yeah,
Whatever you want to do
that's the
within reason.
concern.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's already keeping itself decently warm, without too much heat intervention, even though it's not quite summer yet. And yeah, I mean, construction like that, it takes a long time, and there's a lot of like little pieces that aren't quite done right. Like there's oh, this needs fixing, that needs fixing. Tomorrow actually is the day that the salt water gets turned on. That's apparently quite the process. You have to bring like hundreds of pounds of salt to the pool for the first go.
Am I? Maybe I don't understand pools. You're swimming in salt water?
Yeah, so the new designs of pools, it's not salty as the ocean, but the newest thinking is that it's best not to, over chemicalize them. Salt water is actually much less damaging to your skin, right, than hard water with tons of chlorine in it.
I see.
Right.
So this is a replacement for a lot of the pool chemicals.
It's
and
a way
such.
to chlorinate and balance the pool a little bit more. I don't know if you would use the word naturally, but definitely less chemically. So
Less
pool,
chemically, yeah.
yeah, the pool will use heat and sunlight to. There's like this little machine. Oh my gosh, this cold is kicking in the middle here. I'm having a hard time not coughing. Sorry. There's a second. It's using heat and this little solar cell thing to create essentially chlorine, as far as I understand it, out of salt that is already in the water. But in the meantime, the salt water is a little bit softer on your skin, and the amount of chlorine you need is much lower. So it'll do that process on its own throughout the summer when the heat is high, and it can convert all that stuff on its own. That's as much as I know about it so far.
Interesting. So then you accept the like salt, issues with pipes and such as it's the trade-off for less chemicals, which is probably overall a net good, at least.
Well, everything's made out of PVC now. So
see, I guess that's okay. That makes a lot of sense. So like the salt isn't as big a deal versus PVC as it was versus old copper or whatever.
Right. I mean, the copper still eroded thanks to all the salt in the ground, which is why ours eventually failed and started leaking and had problems. And I was running PVC everywhere to try and filter the pool. But now, it's all PVC underground, which will, eventually crack and fail because plastic's brittle.
I mean, nothing lasts forever, right?
But it can run salt through it, and it can do all those other things for much longer than the copper probably could have.
Also, PVC, very cheap, copper, very expensive.
Well, and if you catch it early, you can like sleeve PVC also, stuff like that.
True, yeah, a lot of options.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So I'll find out more about it as we get it up and running tomorrow, supposedly. But as for right now, it works kind of like magic.
So when's the grand opening pool party, man?
I'm gonna send you a text invite because
you joke, but it's already planned.
I'm not gonna say it live on the air, but
I'm just saying, like, where's my invite, dude? I want to go.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of formed the plan over the weekend during a little shindig that Michael was hosting. So It's new. It's good. Yeah.
It's all coming
You're
together,
getting
JJ.
You get text. You get text.
Okay, great. I just like I'm saying, that sounds good. I would love to experience this for myself.
Yeah. Hopefully we can get the rest of the yard moving by then. We'll see. They're very slow to get back to me about the rest of the stuff. In the meantime, I said it's like magic. So, JJ,
Yes.
have you been watching any of the Liga Pauper Italia, aka Paupergeddon?
No, dude, I don't care about Pauper. I have no.
Oh man, it's been so good.
Okay,
It's been so
what's
good.
cool about it? Give me the rundown. You sound like you're excited. I want to hear.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it's a fun format. It's a lot of cool. The best deck in the format makes up 13% of the tournament, and that's really what I wanted to talk about. Which was, you compare that to like standard or other tournament levels, and somebody finds quote unquote the solved deck, the best decks, and they make up 30% of the field, maybe more, right?
I was going to say 30% is actually a very healthy meta for standard these days. When it's bad, it's like 50 to 60%.
Right. But there's an eternal format over here, and it's not that way, right? That's pretty cool to me. It's dynamic and fun to watch, and yeah. Having played
the metagame in modern is pretty spaced out like that too. It's just
modern's so expensive, dude.
That's the issue, yeah.
Yeah. Having played some Paper Magic with the new Turtles deck, Commander Turtles deck over the weekend, I was kind of jonesing for more and watched the Paupergeddon stream just to have some more fun. But that new Turtles deck, very good. Also, Final Fantasy deck, very good. The Titus one.
The Titus.
Yeah, Titus.
I haven't checked out the Cloud one. I have it. It's sleeved now. Spoiler alert for stuff we might talk about later.
Yeah, that's next on the list. I have it. It's here. It's ready to go.
But yeah, I've not actually played a Commander game with it, so I would be interested in doing that sometime in the future.
We can make that happen. Speaking of sleeving, I have not had a chance to open this box that's on my desk.
Oh, it arrived. That's great.
Maybe I should open it live and see if I have two Dandan decks in here.
Unless the box is obscenely large, there isn't space. So the only people who got two, I think, were people who bought two.
No, well, some people that bought two ended up with unreleased other products instead of their second Dandan deck.
Yeah, so I saw that.
Yeah.
Someone now has like data mined all the cards from that thing, apparently. So it's out there if you want to know what that deck is.
Okay. We're talking, Michael, about in the chat, I think we posted some pictures of the very beautiful 80 card Forgetful Fish Dandan deck.
Yeah, there was some great art on some of those cards.
Yeah, so those started shipping out, and I assume, JJ, by sleeving you meant that maybe you had sleeved some of it?
I had sleeved the entire 82 cards.
Ooh, secret cards.
The deck is 80 cards, but there are 2 additional cards included. Notable omission, I guess, from the original deck. The list that was published was Vision Charm was missing. And 2 full art Vision Charms are included in this deck.
Full art?
So, yeah.
Huh.
So I don't know if these are like, they're not using old border. I don't know if this is new art for this Vision Charm or not. But it is what it is. It seems like the general consensus on the internet is that if you want to play with the Vision Charms instead of, because 80 cards is the deck, so you don't really want to change that to 82. If you don't want to do that, the things to take out is the 2 extra turn spells.
Those are brand new cards, basically.
New to this format, yeah.
Yeah.
There are other cards in this deck that are different from the, like, I don't know, there's no official list, but the, like, commonly run lists don't match this list exactly.
No.
And those two are new along with some other ones, but it seemed like the thing most people thought was that like taking those two capture of Jingzhou out and putting Vision Charm in was the like cleanest you could do with this deck. Easiest, like, you know, it doesn't lose too much taking those out and putting these in. So
I believe it.
but yeah, I sleeved them all up. I noted to you, Andy, that it looks like the printing I got is very slightly off center for some of the cards.
That's bothersome.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. And if you if you ever see him in person, you'll see it's not a lot, but it's noticeable. Like the border, the black, but all the cards with borders are just slightly off center,
Right.
to the right by like a millimeter or something. But it's enough that you like look around the border and you're like, these two borders are bigger than those two, right?
Aw. It shouldn't be like that.
No, but the back is okay. And again, once you put them in sleeves, it's completely unnoticeable.
Especially if you got dual mats.
Right, which I do. And I did double sleeve this time. So
Whoa.
that was fun doing a double sleeve project, which I had never done before.
Double sleeves an 80 card deck? Does it just fall over?
Deck or
the deck. Does it just fall over? I don't double sleeve because it seems like it would just be massive.
It gets pretty tall. If you push it down, it will compress a fair amount because there's a fair amount of air inside there. So you just kind of got to like slowly apply force at the top and it will compress pretty substantially.
But it won't stay that way, right?
It does stay that way mostly. It does not go back up to its full height so far that I have seen.
Okay.
But I have made that 80 card double sleeve thing fit inside the original box that it came in. And that box is like not bursting at the seam. It fits.
Wow. Why double sleeve?
82 cards. 82 cards. I wanted to try it. I like the art. I think it's cool. I want to be able to play with it and not feel like there's a chance I'm going to ruin them.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah, and because I bought the dual mat sleeves that I got, I bought an extra set of 100 and I sleeved up my commander deck also. So that now has normal real sleeves instead of the sleeves that you graciously gave me. Yeah.
Hey man, penny sleeves are penny sleeves. It's fine.
Yeah, they work.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to play that. I know you want to play your commander deck, but I really need to get in some Dandan games.
Oh, dude, I'm totally down. I would love to anytime.
Speaking of card games, though,
it would be tough. It'd be tough to do Dandan over like webcam because you can play like spell table stuff. I don't know if you've ever messed with that before.
But you would need to like share the library.
Yeah, I don't know how it would work with Dandan. It's obviously much easier with Commander, where you can just like lay out your cards in front of you, and then you don't, not typically grabbing cards from across the table or whatever. This one you'd have to like synchronize the deck somehow.
Yeah, I wondered.
So I'm not sure how that would work.
MTG Online?
I don't think it supports Dandan. But I've never tried. I don't know. You can definitely play Commander on there. That's all I know.
Yeah, that's a unique situation. But it would be much easier to play a different type of card game on the computer. Something like Slay the Spire 2.
Yeah, speaking of card games, I think the only card game I want to play right now is more Slay the Spire 2.
So it's already got its claws in you.
It's so good, you guys. I know we have a thing against early access on this podcast. You guys should play Slay the Spire 2. It's fine. Like, I don't know that any change. I don't know what the game is selling for right now. It doesn't matter. It's worth it. Like, so everyone on this podcast played Slay the Spire 1?
I know you guys played a lot.
I played a ton of it.
Just a very little bit of the original.
Okay, so Michael is the only one who hasn't gotten bit yet.
It sounds like you need to give him the rundown on this.
So The game is very similar, and like it's not holistically a different thing. You're still doing the same kind of thing, right? You get your cards and you play them to attack the enemies, and then you win and you pick another point on the map and you go up and up and then you get to the top, right? That is still all pretty much the same. You draft new cards, you get relics that do interesting stuff, drink potions, it's like an RPG, it's a roguelike. The Slay the Spire loop is still very much the same. The thing that's different is there's a bunch of new classes, so you can play as different dudes, or women, or things, or I don't know what they are. Some of them they're just like, but the new ones are very interesting, and the old ones are different than you remember. So the first thing everyone usually always plays in Slay the Spire is the Ironclad, right? Like the first big warrior guy. It's all about blocking and hitting people with swords. Ring any bells, Michael?
Mm-hmm. Yep. That rings a bell.
His initial power is the same, but they've changed a bunch of the cards that you pick up. So some of the builds that might work, you get this card and they synergize together, kind of a thing. That all of that stuff has changed for that class in very interesting ways. In that, like, it's now much harder to build like an impenetrable wall guy, and he's much more about like taking damage to deal more damage, or gaining a bunch of block and then getting rid of the block to deal a huge amount of damage, or attacking many times at once, but fatiguing himself, or things like that. So it's a very different play style, even though some of the cards that you know and love are still there, right? The Silent is usually the next character people play, sort of the rogue dexterity kind of based character. Playing lots of cards all the time, constantly, drawing cards, discarding cards, doing things with cards like that.
Okay, so yeah, kind of a lot of shuffling around of your hand.
Absolutely, and the big thing that person did in Slay the Spire 1 was poison. And Andy, I know you know about poison.
I love it. Everything about it.
Well, it's a lot harder to do in Slay the Spire 2. There are no really great cards that like double or triple the poison counts. There are definitely still cards that give poison. There are cards that like every time you attack, it adds poison, but it's not as much a like focus of build the poison, deal 400 damage in poison or whatever. It's more of like deal a bunch of damage with attacks and then the poison tack on another good chunk, something like that. It's just really hard to get like a huge poison buildup than it was before. But they added a new mechanic for the Silent that's called Sly. I say for the Silent, it actually seems that it's possible to get all these mechanics across all the classes. I can talk about that in a bit. But the Silent's where it was introduced to me. Sly, so like, you're being a sly, tricksy kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
And Sly, when you discard the card, you get to play it for free. So it's like, oh, I draw, like this card says draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards.
It's madness. They brought madness from Magic over to Slay the Spire.
Yes, they did. It's a awesome idea.
I mean, madness is one of the strongest Pauper decks. Just saying.
So the difference is that typically the cards with Sly on them are like not very strong in and of themselves, right? Or they have like a pretty big drawback that if you play the card by itself, it costs like 3 energy, say, which is quite a lot. But obviously, when you discard it, it costs 0. So that's really good. But the card is not fully useless in your hand normally, but like, look, what are you doing? Like, don't be playing this normally, right? And so they do a very good job of balancing it, because that game, again, if you're doing this whole discard draw thing, well, you have to get cards that draw and discard cards, as well as cards that do stuff when you discard them. And they're not usually the same cards, right? So sort of having to build 2 sorts of things at once in your deck. And that is the fun part about this game, is like crafting these decks, it really is, Andy, a lot like going to a draft, like a limited draft, right?
Oh
Just
yeah, I love that.
Spread out over a long time. You do this one fight, you get to pick one of 3 cards. You do the next fight, you get one of 3 cards. And meanwhile, you're sort of building this deck together. Yeah, that process is just really great. I am really in love with this, and the other new classes are really fun too. The thing I want to do so bad is there's multiplayer in this game. I want to try the multiplayer.
Whoa. How does that work? How could that possibly work?
Co-op multiplayer.
So like you're doing the battles together?
Yes. Simultaneous turns. So it's a, all, I think it goes up to 4. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure what the limit is. But yeah, multiple people join together and you fight the enemies together at the same time. There are also some multiplayer specific cards that don't show up outside of multiplayer. And obviously, the kinds of builds you want to do when you have multiple people around are different. So, because, things like if I put a debuff on the enemy, well, you get the debuff too, right? So there's a lot more benefit to doing stuff like, giving the enemies weak or making them vulnerable or, negating their harmful effects or blocking or, these sorts of things all have different meanings when you have a group there. And you can use some of your effects on your own teammates. So I don't know exactly how that part works because I have played the multiplayer, but it seems like, some of your cards that target things, well, like I can target you with a thing. Which, I don't think I can like target you to give you block or whatever, but maybe I could give you some kind of buff or something, or use a potion on you. Which would be pretty interesting use of the cards that is not normally possible. And there are, like I said, apparently multiplayer specific cards that only show up when you are in multiplayer.
I wonder about balancing decks though, because like multiplayer cards, if they're not in the versions that you play normally, you're not going to be able to balance your deck around them as well as like, because if you're ready to play a class, you already know how to play. And then these cards show up, you're like, "Ooh, I would love to take that, but it doesn't fit the build or whatever." Magic did that little turtles thing recently, and it's like got cards in there that are specific to the set, and then they kind of are going to be useless outside the set. And even then, you might not want them if you were building a deck of your own for that type of multiplayer thing because of how they function. They don't help your game plan.
So, the game plan in this is, communal though, right? So it's like, all of you are together against the Spire. It's not like it's a, me versus you, kind of thing. That's sort of all of us at once. And the rewards are split so that everyone gets, a card and money and gold. There's not like any competition there. So there isn't really a lot of like worry about, well, will or won't you like, well, although, when you open the chests, right, there's usually like an item in there, a relic that you can use. When there's multiple people, there's multiple relics. Well, so then how do you decide who gets what? You both get to pick. You have a little hand you can point at. Well, like, what if you both point at the same one? The hands do rock, paper, scissors.
I love it.
Do you get a different one or do you just lose out entirely?
No, you get the other one.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't, like I said, nothing is like competitive here in that it's like taking anything away from you. It's like if you both want this one, it picks, one of you gets it, and then the other one gets the other one, right? So it's not like they're stopping you from getting anything here. It's just you didn't get your first choice, I guess, maybe. But, so I'm very curious to see how that works out. The enemies also are scaled up, obviously. They would have to be because you have multiple people wailing on them, so they have to like raise the HP. I don't know if their attack patterns and stuff are different, but I know whatever their intention is, if they're going to attack, they attack all of you. It's not like they just attack one person. So it's a, all of you versus them and them versus all of you kind of thing. But like I said, I'm so fascinated to see it because it looks very interesting, and because of the ways you can combo back and forth between the different abilities of the characters, would be very, very cool.
Nice.
So anyway, that game
Uh-huh.
rules a lot. You guys should absolutely play it.
Well, can you do builds in Minishoot Adventures, Michael? It's really important that I know because it's on the Steam sale and I'm thinking about it.
Not exactly builds, but you do have a skill tree.
Ooh, love a skill tree.
So yeah, Minishoot Adventures. I found that this had a demo. I'm not sure if it was. I don't think it was part of the most recent Next Fest, but I think I came across it when I was looking at games that were that had demos as part of Next Fest, and it's a lot of fun. It's a kind of a genre mashup of a game where if you picture like a top-down map, a la Link to the Past,
Or like
except
Zelda 1.
yes, or like Zelda 1, maybe even more so. But instead of a little elven woodland boy, you are a tiny spaceship, and the game is a twin-stick bullet hell shooter.
That's such a weird combination.
It is, but it works. Like it works out really well. So the demo is on Steam. It's free. So I gave it a shot. But it probably took me about 80 minutes just because there's a lot going on in the demo, and there's a fair bit of exploring that they let you do. And then there's a dungeon that you can enter to solve the puzzles and find the keys to open up the doors, and make your way to the boss room, very much Legend of Zelda style.
Okay, I didn't realize it was so much like Zelda that it had like straight up keys and doors and stuff like that.
Oh, it absolutely does. It's the same format as playing a 16-bit, 8-bit, 16-bit Zelda game. It's just that you're a spaceship instead.
So weird.
Are you constantly shooting even while you're doing some of this stuff also?
No,
Like a
so
twin stick shooter, or are you controlling that?
one of the sticks is your movement. Left stick is your movement. The right stick is both the direction that you're facing, and it controls firing. So you can move around just with using the left stick. You don't start shooting until you tilt the right stick. Does that make sense? Your movement
Yeah.
movement is independent of your orientation.
Okay, so original Zelda games like this, or top-down games like this with dungeon crawling and all that, were so simple. They did not have stuff like a I keep wanting to say sphere grid, a skill tree, or anything else like that. Is that a good addition to this type of thing, or maybe not so much?
So I think it's a good addition, and I think that the way they implemented it was smart. So you have very much Zelda style. You have pieces of heart that increase your life for every 4 of them that you find, but
Wow, they just went for it, huh?
yeah, straight up. But you also have a um, it's like a little what do you want to call it? A little receptacle. So as you destroy enemies or find crystal formations on the overworld, you collect the crystals, and they fill up a little bar in the top corner of the screen. And when the bar fills up, you level up. And leveling up gets you a crystal that you can drop into the skill tree. And standard, the higher levels of each skill require more crystals, but it's set up to let you respec on the fly. So if at any point you want to just pull all the crystals out of your build and drop them elsewhere, you just tap a button and it pulls everything out, from whichever skill you have highlighted, and then you can move those crystals somewhere else.
No tax, like no penalty for doing that?
Not that I found. No.
Awesome.
A lot more arcade like then.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yep. So if you're playing, there were a bunch of little mini games scattered around. If you're playing a mini game where you're racing one of the other ships, and you want to take all of the crystals that you have in firing speed and bullet strength and drop them all into movement speed and handling instead, so that you can breeze through the race, you can do that.
Yes. Make sure we're using all of our crop. What is it? What do you use when Epona's racing?
Oh, your
Crop?
carrots.
Yeah, all the carrots. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Gotta time your button presses to use up the carrots at the right rate.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool. That one's super cheap. I think I'll probably grab that and Slay the Spire pretty soon here.
I would highly recommend that one. Yeah, especially on it's almost half off. So,
Michael, why is there a stupid mark in the title?
In the title.
I don't know. I don't know why there is a random apostrophe.
The title of the game is Minishoot Adventures. Why?
Minishoot apostrophe. It's like Minishoot's Adventures.
No, there would be an S. There's not.
I don't know. There's no explanation for why that is the case.
And they illustrated the mark in.
They did it on purpose.
It's not. It's on purpose. I want to know why. I'm very frustrated.
I'm trying to look and see if they did that in any of their other games.
Oh yeah, I have no idea what these people have made.
Swords and Souls is the only other game I see that they've made. I don't know what that is. Well, if people want to try and explain whatever, if this is possessive apostrophe, if it's half of a quotation, where would they do that?
They can send that to podcast@weweregamers.com. You can also find us on social media at We Were Gamers on Facebook and on Blue Sky. And you should go check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@weweregamers.